Do you see a red button showing that it is recording? I don't know. On my side, I can see that it's running, so it's okay. Now, I will begin. This seminar is supposed to be for someone who has not the slightest idea about Feng Shui. Well, maybe they have read some books or they have heard about Feng Shui, but they have no idea how it works. So let us see how it works. The title of this seminar is Feng Shui Tips, meaning this is casual tips that can be given to anyone without seeing the house, without not knowing anything about the house or about the people. In other words, this is very general tips that is applicable to everybody. Now, usually when we are involved in Feng Shui practices, people may ask us in some occasions, in some gatherings, okay, give us some Feng Shui tips. Now, you see, you cannot always say that I haven't seen your home, I can't give you any tips. I can't tell anything at all. Then people will not be satisfied. Well, there are certain things that we can give out without seeing the house. Now, first of all, we have to understand, what does Feng Shui do? There may be a lot of misunderstanding about what Feng Shui can do. Some people claim that Feng Shui can make millionaires, billionaires. Well, it is not true. Feng Shui is just about how wind and water bring energy and retain energy in a house. So it is about bringing in energy to a house and how to retain the energy in the house so that we can tap into the energy. That is Feng Shui. And this energy is not the same as energy that we study in physics. It is metaphysics we are talking about, and in metaphysics we call this qi. What is qi? Well, the original word qi is simply air. It is a borrowed term telling us that it is just as important as air. Without qi, nothing, without air, you see, nothing can survive, nothing can live. So in the same way, without qi, nothing can survive, nothing can live. And therefore, qi is simply existence. Qi is the source of vitality. And a living thing dies when the qi leaves. That is important. What does qi do? Well, active energy is responsible for wealth. Some qi are active. Some other qi are not active. The active part is responsible for wealth. It does work. And to make money, you have to do work. And when you have to do work, you need something to support you to do the work. And that is qi. And that is the wealth qi, the active energy. The inactive energy is good for health and harmony. So inactive energy can help you enjoy good health and harmony. Good Feng Shui can bring people wealth, health, and happiness. Now this tells you what Feng Shui can do. Now although it says it brings people wealth, it doesn't mean that using Feng Shui I can or anyone else can make someone a millionaire, a billionaire. if that is true, they should make a billionaire out of themselves first. That is not true. By saying Feng Shui can bring people wealth, I mean Feng Shui can supply the necessary qi to make money. That is to say, it helps you to do work to create wealth. It doesn't bring you wealth directly. It brings you the tools. It brings you the energy that you can use in making money. And that the right kind of energy is important. Everybody can use a different kind of energy to make money. So that part should be tailor-made. Now, we talk about yang qi and yin qi. We mentioned before that active energy is called yang qi. Inactive energy is called yin qi. We mentioned before there is energy that is active, there is energy that is inactive. Well, now, in order to use a more technical term, we will call this yang qi and yin qi instead. The balance of yin and yang is the key to good Feng Shui. So that is another thing we have to know. Good Feng Shui is about the balance of yin and yang. Now, it doesn't mean that if a house is not too dark and not too bright, that it is a balance of yin and yang. It doesn't mean that. It means where should be bright, there is brightness. Where should be dark, there is darkness. That is the balance of yin and yang. Now, these Feng Shui tips that we are going to talk about are just like vitamin pills and supplements. And you need to consult a good professional if you want Feng Shui services. The tailor-made Feng Shui advices must come from a trained professional. Number one tip is to keep your door unblocked. The door of your house is like your mouth, and therefore it must be free from blockage. If your mouth is blocked, you cannot eat, so you can't have energy. Now, there must be ample space both inside and outside the door. Otherwise, your mouth is either blocked outside or blocked inside, so you cannot eat. This is a house. The door is there. This is the space outside the door. It should be an unblocked space in front of the door, known as the main tang. Main tang is the equivalent of saying this is a bright hall. Now, there is another space inside the house, relatively smaller, but should also be an unblocked space, which we call the inner main tang. Well, qi can then come in these directions in a winding way to be collected in the outer main tang. So there is smooth flow of qi. In other words, not only is there an ample space outside, but the pathways leading to that ample space should also be unblocked. Well, it doesn't mean that it is totally vacant. As long as you have a guided pathway to bring the qi into the outer main tang in a winding and loving way, then it is good Feng Shui. All right? After staying in the inner main tang for a while, then the qi starts spreading in all directions. then there should be guided pathways inside the house so that the qi can flow smoothly in a winding manner. So in that case, then the entire house will be filled with the necessary qi. You brush your teeth every day, therefore you should also clean the space outside and inside your door every day. That's the door. So you clean the inside of your door, you also clean the outside of the door every day, and it will guarantee to have good feng shui into your house. So the first step was to have a good exterior Mingtang and a good interior Mingtang. And the second step is to clean these Mingtang every day. Keep your pathways unblocked. The pathways are like the blood vessels, and a blockage can cause heart disease. So there should not be oversized furniture to block the pathways and to declutter your house. But don't exaggerate decluttering. As in some books, you see declutter is just a simple word and you can explain everything in a few sentences. But some people just write one whole book on decluttering and saying this is clutter, that is clutter. Well, that may not be so. Clutter is something that blocks the flow of qi. It may not be the clutter under the definition. You see, if you have oversized furniture, that is clutter already. Even though you use it every day, that is clutter. That is inappropriate. But if you have something that you never use it, because for ornaments, well, you see, not everything in our house are to be useful. It can be just ornamental. They are ornamental as long as they look beautiful and placed appropriately, then it is good. That this is not clutter. You don't have to use it. It is not clutter. So we have a very simple definition for clutter here. Is anything that blocks the flow of qi is clutter. Finished. Have a nice metal sound in your house. Now that would be the easiest advice to anybody, no matter which house. No matter in which house you have sickness energy. Even if this is the most healthy house. Why? Because sometimes the sickness energy can be good. It's not necessarily totally bad, because what causes sickness is just some kind of energy, but this energy, the bringing sickness, is not the only character of that particular energy. The energy is also capable of doing a lot of other things. But if you can get rid of the negative part of the energy and just use the positive part of the energy, then the energy can be useful. It is just that people are afraid of sickness. That's why when they see something that can bring sickness together with some other good things, they will say, okay, this is sickness energy. I don't want sickness energy. And they are afraid to hear that in your house you have sickness energy. Well, if we give them a different term, let's say there's health energy in the house, health energy. And the health energy can, if unbalanced, can bring sickness. Okay? That is a much better choice of the word so that people can accept much better. So now in your house, in every house there is health energy, but health energy must be appropriate. If it is inappropriate, then it will bring sickness. And to make it appropriate, we use the sound of metal, because the sound is the energy that can pacify the health energy so that it brings good things to the people. And so it is easy. Well, among these three, I like the best is the piano. You see, if you find a piano in any house, just tell the people, okay, no matter you know how to play the piano or not, play it. it will convert the health energy into something always positive, and it will not bring sickness. Open room doors and windows during daytime. Now at night, sometimes we need to close windows. We need to, at least the bedroom doors are closed when you sleep, so that no one else can disturb you while you sleep. But during daytime, get a habit of opening all the room doors and all the windows. Now, if it is not good, if it is impossible to open the windows, then at least open the curtain. Draw out the curtain so that you can admit light inside. You see, when light can come in, then qi can come in. Not as effective as when the window is really open. When air can come in, then then you have more qi. But anyway, open room doors and windows as much as you can during daytime. Have indoor plants, but never too many. Now, too many indoor plants will suffocate the house. Well, they will become clutter if you have too much or too many plants in the house. Regarding plants, it is good to have plants with large leaves. They represent the wealth-retaining job much better. They can retain wealth much better. Something like the a plant with too many spikes and thorns will not be so good because they are just too aggressive. But they can also be used to fight against sha qi. When there is sha qi, when there's something unsightly coming in from a certain direction, place such plants there, and it can take care of the bad qi coming in that direction. Toilet and sink. Okay, now this is very much talked about. You see, this setting is a no-no. When the toilet on the other side of the wall is at your is where your bed is placed, it will disturb the qi that is on this wall, and you cannot get the yin qi that will bring you good health and harmony when you sleep. When we sleep, we like to absorb the yin qi so that it brings us good health. But if you have a toilet over there, or even the bathtub, or even a sink, then it will be very bad. We need to find out the structure of the wall as well. Are there pipes with running water on the wall where you place your bed against? Now that will be bad enough, because the running water disturbs the yin qi, and you do not get the benefit of the yin qi while you sleep, and that you have to observe. It's not just the toilet, but just any moving water inside a wall should be avoided. No running water. Now this part is visible running water. You see the fountain is visible running water. And that, of course, is a no-no. So we talk about the invisible running water inside the wall, and also the visible running water inside the room. Whether it be a fish tank or a fountain, it is bad. So this can also be mentioned. Avoid circular design in the bedroom. Well, I'm not saying that you cannot have anything circular in the bedroom. You can, but if it is something that brings too much action in the bedroom, then, well, on the one hand, this may be good for young people who desperately want a baby, okay, but not that good for people who need, okay, well, I need to rest quietly when I sleep. Then it is not that appropriate. So it depends, you see. And if you can explain the reason why you want this, why you don't want that, then the people will take your advice, okay? Because the round bed will generate too much action. Can't sleep well. Now, the most important principle in Feng Shui is the BTB principle. What does BTB mean? BTB means back to basics. Back to basics. Those people make Feng Shui practices too complicated. A lot of formulas, a lot of money-making formulas, but they forget the basics. The basics are the most important. To enjoy good Feng Shui is simply to enjoy the harmony of yin and yang and the 5 elements. How? Okay, in my Feng Shui series, which will last I don't know how many sessions. I've done one session on yin and yang. The next session will be on the 5 elements. This is a totally different approach than what is commonly found in books or in some other courses, including my correspondence courses. It has a different approach. You view these online Feng Shui series, and it begins with the basics again, and then step by step to develop the real Feng Shui knowledge. And remembering these, then you can enjoy good Feng Shui. That is all for today.